Teflon TV. Teflon TV. What up, my people? You know who it is. It's the Don. Tony Teflon. House Teflon. We pull the string. It's the Don. Tony Teflon. House Teflon. We pull the string. What up, my people? And even after his death, still one question remains. Where are the bones of Lord Eddard Stark? Now, we're told over and over again that there's value in king's blood. Now, Lord Stark, being the king of winter, the Lord of Winterfell, does have king's blood in him. This is one of the reasons Robb Stark is allowed to be crowned king of the North. So, is there value in king's bones? Now, back in the time of the Grey King, a demon tree named Yig is supposed to have existed. This pale white tree that is known for eating humans whole, bones and all, was killed by the Grey King and was turned into his first ship. Now, white with blood red sap, most weirwood trees have faces carved into them by the children of the forest, but now the wildlings practice this custom mostly. Now, after performing a pact with the first men, the children had the first men create God's woods within their castle walls and villages, where a single weirwood, known as a heart tree, was planted so the gods could be worshipped. Now, weirwoods are used to witness important events such as marriages, and it is said for some reason that it is impossible to lie within the presence of a heart tree. Now, we know that an enormous weirwood with a gaping mouth grows in the village of White Tree beyond the wall, and this trunk is supposed to be 8 feet wide. We also know that bones are found in the mouths of these weirwood trees throughout the books. So, it seems that to Northmen, children of the forest, and wildlings, bones may hold some value. Now, our first search begins with Tyrion Lannister. Now, Tyrion orders the King's Guard from King's Landing to remove the heads of the people off the spikes along with Lord Eddard Stark's head. He then has the bones sent to Riverrun. Now, Catelyn Tully received these bones both in the books and the show. In the show, Littlefinger gives her the bones from Tyrion at Renly's camp. Catelyn then has Halis Moulton and some Silent Sisters take the bones north so they can be buried inside the Winterfell crypts. Now, she is so determined that this happens, she sends an armed force with the bones. Now, we see Silent Sisters walking through battlefields, and no one messes with them, no matter what side they're fighting for. And it seems that no matter who it is in the books, and no matter where they're from, that people have a respect for burial customs. So, I have to ask, why did Catelyn send an armed guard with the sisters? Now, one could be she suspected treachery, but I don't know how she would just suspect that right off the bat. Or could it be that she must know that these bones must get back to Winterfell? Now, we heard her say before that there must always be a Stark in Winterfell, and I know that as long as there are bones in the crypts, that can remain true. But at this particular time, the Ironborn has taken Moat Cailin. So we really aren't sure if the bones made it before Moat Cailin got sacked. And then at this time, Theon takes Winterfell. And there is no stories then while he is in control of the bones arriving. Now, in the Dance with Dragons, Lady Dustin claims that she has tracked the bones and that they have not made it past the neck into the north. So this would lead me to believe that the Ironborn did not get their hands on Lord Eddard Stark's bones. And the Barrowlands being the next stop up from the moat, and her being in control of the Barrowlands, it would seem that Lady Dustin would know and have this knowledge. So the question again comes, why is Lady Dustin interested in Ned Stark's bones? Now, we know that she hates Ned Stark because she blames him for the death of her husband, William Dustin, at the Tower of Joy. But could there be another reason? Now, I think that the conversation she has with Theon says the true reason. and it goes like this. Why do you love the Starks? I want to be one of them, and you never could. We have more in common than you know, my lord. Now, the fact that she called Theon a lord, to me, shows me the fact that she's talking to him on the same level, and at this particular time, she can be honest. Now, Lady Barbary is a surviving daughter of Lord Roderick Risewell. Her sister is Bethany, who was the late wife of Roose Bolton, and her nephew was Roose's true heir, Domeric. Now, this is the reason why she hates Ramsay, because she blames him for Domeric's untimely passing. Now, she has 3 brothers whose names are Roger, Rickard, and Roose Risewell. Now, in her youth, Lady Barbary was infatuated with Brandon Stark, and he took her maidenhood. Now, she claims that Brandon never wanted to marry Catelyn Tully, and that was forced onto him by his father, and her father took advice from a maester. And for this reason, she hates maesters, calling them gray rats. Now, she then was supposed to marry Ned, but then Catelyn came and took him, so instead that made her marry William Dustin. So, we see that she has tried to become Lady of Winterfell twice, and has failed twice. So why would she want to be Lady of Winterfell? Now, power obviously would have something to do with it, but could it be something a little bit more than just the power of being Lady of Winterfell? Now, the Dustins of Barrowtown have been the bannermen of House Stark for Winterfell since the downfall of the Barrow Kings of the old, and this is why they have a rusted iron crown on their arms. Now, in the Song of Ice and Fire, it says, "The rusted crown upon the arms of House Dustin derives from their claims that they are themselves descendants from the first kings and the Barrow Kings who ruled after him. The old tales records the Kennet's passage of the dead claims that the curse was placed on the great barrow that would allow no living man to rival the first king. This curse made those pretenders to grow corpse-like in their appearance, as it sucked away their vitality and life." So, I have to ask, why would such a curse be needed to stop the rise of the Barrow Kings, who are now the Dustins? And who would make a curse at this time? Who had the power to do that? And I could only come up with 2 things. The Starks, who hate the Barrow Kings, and the Children of Forest. But why would the Children of the Forest team up with the Starks at this particular time? Well, we know at this time, the Children of the Forest's main enemy are the Giants. And it is said that the Great Barrow of Barrowtown is to contain the grave of the first king of the first men, or a king of the Giants. Now, we know that the Giants don't have kings, and that's a human thing. And we know that the Giants and the humans have fucked more than once. Now, Hodor is supposed to have Giants' blood in him. And we see what power and destruction he causes when Bran takes control of him. So imagine a race of men, women, of Hodors running through Westeros. That could be unbeatable for any race, anyway. So, this curse prevents that from happening, and that from taking place. So, with the bones of Ned Stark, a king of winter, could the curse be lifted? Could the old giant king be raised from the dead? Now, before you say that that's impossible, that cannot happen, in the world of Ice and Fire, it says, "The Night's King's corpse-like bride was thought to be a daughter from the Barrowlands." Now we see that they refer to the White Walkers as corpse-like. That is what they use to describe them, though we know they are not corpse-like. So, could the White Walkers be the old Barrow Kings who tried to take the throne of winter from the Starks and were cursed, and then sent to the lands of always winter? So, where are Lord Eddard Stark's bones? If you have to ask me, If they are to be found, there is only one person who could have them in his possession, and I believe that is Howland Reed. Being from Greywater Watch, he would be the only one with enough skill, with enough power, and enough knowledge of the North and the ways of the North to get a hold of the bones and keep them away from Lady Dust. So if you like the way I do this, please subscribe, please thumbs up it, please tell your friends about me, and thank you for everyone who has stuck with me, and thank you for everyone who shows me support. And I'll be back at you soon with another video, and until then, peace and stay sexy.